Guys, it's serious. I've been a bad boy, and I'm going to prison. So it seems to me that I have been officially typed in MBTI. Generally, I feel like, there are so many videos I've made where maybe I was talking about how I view things and how I perceive things to be. Certain videos where cognition would be visible, but it seems like the focus of the video here was me talking about ENTP 8, buzzword by the way, as a possibility and just reading fucking shit on the screen. So I'm not sure how you can deduct my type.
Hello friends, Officer Host Eric here.
Officer Host Eric.
Patrolling the typology streets
the fucking
of YouTube
policeman.
to prevent miscreants
bad boy
from
and the
spreading
policeman.
misinformation and identifying as types that they are not. Welcome.
He's there to spot mistypes, maybe spread some information about typology, MBTI it seems, and make sure that people are typed correctly, which is not a bad thing. It's not, you see, Rust equals ESFP question mark, so it's a mystery.
To another exciting episode of the Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, type police. Please pull that guy over. He says he's
Okay, so a bit too long. See, the jam was good.
Welcome back to the Type Police. Quick disclaimer before we go forward. Nobody can ever type anybody without actually typing them. So, Type Police is intended for entertainment purposes only.
He's right. It's done for fun. It's done for a good time.
Obviously, all the information I provide within a Type Police episode about cognitive functions and typology is going to be correct. Regardless, keep that in mind. I know I cannot type somebody without actually typing them. So today we pulled over an individual named Rust, who makes a lot of content about socionics and Enneagram. And let's take a listen to something that he says.
Sexual 3 does not seem like a type that's very confident in sensorics, meaning it would be an intuitive type. A type that kind of does struggle a lot with SE, with aesthetics, appearance, seemingly being very... It's definitely socionics, right? Because we see normative being thrown.
Right off the bat, we've got some incorrectness. He immediately starts mushing Enneagram together with personality type in a way that it shouldn't be. He does convey some information about extroverted sensing.
So let's address the first thing, which is mixing information that shouldn't be mixed. It definitely mixes even cognition. And we see this in types, for example, like the Enneagram 8. And it's even visible in types like the Enneagram 5. And stuff like people's attitude to physicality and certain things related to how they feel about physicality is also related to Enneagram. You can see this if you read the subtype books or just in the core type books. You will see those things.
He does convey some information about extroverted sensing, and it's wrong.
The information I have given about SE is straight from classical socionics.
The stuff about appearance and aesthetics and stuff, though, that is not linked to extroverted sensing. It's linked to extroverted feeling.
No.
And to some extent, introverted sensing and introverted intuition.
Again, I feel like this would be fine if this is from the lens of MBTI. So, yeah, I'm sure, from MBTI sense, that's true. But that's not the content I'm making. It's not fucking MBTI. So that's not true.
Somebody with a very good aesthetic in terms of their clothes, like Rachel, for example, well, that's indicative of NIFE.
Is ENTP A-wing mother 7 back? No. ENTP A-wing 7. And that was a how do you say in English? Speculative video, right? Obviously, based on the certain notes that we've received at the time. So let's see. Maybe you, the ultimate cosplayer, can now be this type. You are on Reddit 24/7. ENTP 8 is real. I get that. you might be real. Probably not, but let's get into.
He's talking about ENTP wing 8 and, describing them as very distinct in some fashion from some other ENTP, which is maybe to some extent a little bit correct. But what I included this for primarily is that he is correct that if you are on
you're correct about something.
Reddit claiming to be ENTP wing 8, wing 7, wings are garbage, but regardless, then you almost certainly are not that type, because there are 4 types more than any others that people self-identify as when they are not actually that type. And those 4 types are ENTP, INTP, INTJ, and INFJ.
Those are the new quotes, the testimonies, and let's look over them and maybe we can have a new, deep understanding of the type.
No, you will never have a deep understanding of a type by listening to people's testimonials who self-identify as that type.
This is a testimony included in that is going to be part of the new edition of 27 Personalities in Search of Being. And that's part of the social aid section. And that testimony isn't just by a person who self-identified as a type. It's a person who has been working with personally for many years with Claudio Naranjo himself, the person who's responsible for creating the subtypes to begin with. So this is not a case of, you're reading a random motherfucker on Reddit or some other fucking bullshit place and trying to learn or trying to kind of, again, speculate about what's going to happen. Because remember, at this time, Enneagram 8 book was not out. We were still speculating about the presentation of the type, and that's why we were watching the testimonies. That's why we paid attention to those testimonies. And that was actually the fucking whole point. This is not random. The person did not self-identify. They got typed by the creator of the system. Mafioso dressed as a spiritual teacher. That's crazy work, right? You're getting an Enneagram 8 who's basically posing as a spiritual teacher. That's crazy work.
One's relationship with anger and one's relationship with fear and one's relationship with shame, as described by Enneagram, which is to say, it's predictive. It says you will reflexively respond to these kind of emotional stimuli in the following way. That's all Enneagram does.
This is again decapitation. See, listen, my friend, you put me in prison and I decapitate your ass. Just like that. So, on a serious note though, right? Jokes fucking aside. What is being said here, guys, is simply not motherfucking true. And I know you guys are probably going to be in the comment section. Wow, this shit's dumb. What the fuck? This motherfucker's stupid. Don't bash him. He ain't stupid. He's a normal dude. This is entertainment. It's not that fucking deep. But I know you guys will see. You guys will watch this shit and be like, oh, well, of course, Enneagram isn't that. Because that's like horoscope. That's like fucking taking a personality fucking test. Horoscope means nothing. Oh, your relationship with anger. AIDS express anger. No. So Enneagram has to do, what the fuck it has to do with? It has to do with fixations. It has to do with defense mechanisms, right? It has to do with neurosis that are compulsive drives that are driving every person, and even cognitive orientations. So to say that Enneagram is simply something that predicts like people's relationship, no, it predicts so much fucking more. Especially with the Enneagram 8, has a strong relationship with the tangible, with the sensorical, with here and now.
And to the extent that you were trying to convey that the different personality types are like flavors of Enneagram or something, you're overreaching with Enneagram by a large.
When others accept his domination, he becomes disappointed in them. It's like, I'm guessing this is related to the concept of strength. Can you really respect someone who just allows you to take as much as you want? Maybe that's how this works.
Okay, so he's talking about this personality type as attempting to dominate others and then not respecting those people when they allow him to dominate them. That's called toxicity. That does not link to any healthy expression of personality at all.
He's correct. It's not supposed to be a healthy manifestation of any personality. Enneagram is not about healthy manifestations of anything. Enneagram is about unhealthy manifestations of personalities. And it is indeed true that the Enneagram 8 is described as a sadistic character. Now, if we agree with this term, we think it's too harsh or whatnot, it doesn't matter. But that's the way it has been described. So yes, of course, it is toxic. 100% it's fucked up. But that's the way it goes. Enneagram is really just describing the maladaptive behavioral patterns, personality patterns. That's all.
But if they're trying to genuinely dominate other people, then that's just being toxic. And toxicity usually stems from childhood stuff. And
everything stems from childhood stuff, you know. But every person deals with their childhood issues different way. The 8 does fixate on being anti-vulnerable, and there was a domination aspect. And yes, of course, it's true. It's because of childhood. But to dismiss it so easily, no.
Accordingly, is not within the proper purview of personality.
They're ignorant. He's not responding to them. That's how this seems. Now look, there was no merit in them for me to interrupt my process of continuous thought. It's like a very geeked out character who's thinking a lot.
Okay. I don't even remember what type this thing is supposed to be about exactly.
You see this on social media.
I clipped a few of these clips from him reading from these testimonials and commenting on them.
But how are you gonna type if you fucking have me just reading a bunch of shit? You're not reading about me, you're just, like...
Obviously, whoever's writing this, the thing that he's reading, is simply doing some kind of ego gratification, self-aggrandizing, I guess, storytelling. We can't really glean anything particular about the person who's writing this story. It's hard to say. But we can, for sure, determine that whatever this person is saying, it's not instructive, informative, illustrative, or whatever else about anything typological.
Again, if it's not saying anything, why is it in the book?
People like to play around in this arena and create a bunch of mud where there ought to be clarity.
Yeah. Fighting was for those more sexual, more animal, more brutish, more prone to provocation, better people, more interested in educated others, more loving towards others. For me, the point was to be like a cold metal dagger. He's not, this guy is jerking himself off, to be honest. Yeah. Social A, right? The Megalomaniacs is a fucking essay of a guy fucking wanking it. He's not wrong.
Okay, so this is like typology for 14-year-olds or something. There's no meaningful engagement with any ideas that actually explain anything, and it's as though Rust here is unaware that he's wallowing in mud that is
so far there's no fucking MBTI.
Only confusing him and anybody listening to it.
I'm not being confused. And people, again, in the channel, are not confused. It's fucking clear as day.
So I do believe he's an ESFP. My belief that he probably is one is irrelevant here.
Yeah, but the whole fucking point of this police is to fucking have your opinion on someone's type. Like, what, it's not irrelevant. That's why you're here.
I don't have adequate cause to arrest him for self-identifying as the wrong type.
It's not like he didn't say something like crazy, but how were you able to deduct that I am an ESFP to begin with? Like, it's a video of me talking about Enneagram, and I'm getting tapped an MBTI. It's just reading off a fucking page. Fuck, like, there's nothing MBTI related. So I don't know how the fuck I got even typed. But I guess this is correct. So it's chilling, but like, how?
There's nothing here that's...
If I was to type someone, I'd kind of use maybe videos where maybe Q&A videos, maybe streams. That makes sense, right? You see how they act, you see that they're natural, you see what they talk about. Not a motherfucker sitting on his ass with his dick in his hand and just reading a bunch of shit and be like, oh yeah, this might be, guys, it might be NTPA, you know, like.
Strongly suggestive of TI, for example. And
Okay.
the extroverted intuition is about what I'd expect to see 8th slot. Regardless, he's not under arrest for self-identifying
Yeah. Thank you.
as the wrong type. However, I want to point everybody's attention to a couple of statutes, namely the statute on mixing Enneagram and typology, cognitive functions, which says it is illegal and a misdemeanor to inappropriately mix typology and Enneagram to create some other archetype beyond those implied by the actual understanding of typology. I would also like to point you to the statute that says, don't spread misinformation that makes it harder for people to understand things.
Everything that's being said, again, we're gonna have quotes left and right. There's no misinformation. I would rather get butt-fucked by a silverback gorilla than say dumb shit.
You don't need to have criminal intent to get arrested.
Man,
Maybe
what
that's
the fuck, bro? Like, I'm getting arrested, you know, guys. What is this? I'm being put in prison for 8 months.
fair, maybe it's not. Regardless, I want to talk to you now about this part of the jail. This part of the jail is where we put people in cells because they've been bad.
I'm being
And
decapitated.
that is exactly where rest is going.
I've been a bad boy. What can I say?
Thank you very much.
So this guy seems pretty chill. And, you know, he's an older dude. And I think he's been probably in the community for many years. Been doing this shit on YouTube for many years. So he has experience. And I'm pretty sure, like, listen, like, he probably knows MBTI very well. So I guess maybe I am type ESFP according to the cognitive functions, but there was no real usage of like, okay, there's no explanation behind the type, basically. It was more like at the end, it was, I guess there's no reason for him not to be ESFP. You cannot deduct really my typology in that fucking video. Simple as that. It's just me reading a bunch of shit. And it comes across more as a critique of certain things that I mentioned in the video, which, by the way, the critique is all incorrect, obviously. And we will have quotes and everything in between to prove it. So, in a sense, it's like, what the fuck did I learn? I thought maybe there's gonna be some learning thing from me. I'm gonna watch this shit, be like, oh, you know, I don't know MBTI that well. I'm not some fucking geeked out individual about MBTI. I know socionics and I know Enneagram very well, but MBTI, I don't fucking know. So maybe I can get typed as something I didn't expect. And it would be really laid out, really explained. It really wasn't explained, and I don't know if this is normal with this type police shit, but I'm in prison already. I'm behind bars for 10 fucking years. Obviously, guys, there's no hard feelings. The guy's super fucking chill. Like, don't bash him. Don't decapitate him in the comment section. And let me know what you guys think about this. Do you agree with the ESFP? Or do you think ESTP, you know, is the right call? So I'm out, I'm Charles, and I'm bouncing.